I think the tradition has been for Asian Americans to do the technical work, the repair, and work really hard and do the hard stuff, but never be in sort of the leadership role or the public-facing role. And I think the only way to change that is to do those roles. And that's partially why I've done it. I've always believed in show, don't tell. Instead of saying, hey, Asian Americans can be great public speakers or leaders, to do it, and then people will believe it. 大家好，我叫吴修铭，就是 Tim Wu， 我是哥伦比亚大学教授。我是美国出生了，在美国加拿大长大了。我父亲是台湾来的，母亲是英国人，所以我是混血儿。They met in the laboratory in Canada, got married there, and we had kind of a science family. I was some ways the black sheep because I went to the legal field, and everyone else in our family is doctors, medical doctors. So I'm the only one in politics and law. My father was a scientist, but he was very interested, active in Taiwanese politics. Why not me? So I think that motivated me. At the same time, I think some of the values have stuck with me from growing up in a Taiwanese influenced family. Hard work, fairness. I also took, I don't know if it's Asian American or Taiwanese, this great regard for small business and entrepreneurship. All my relatives in Taiwan have their own businesses of one kind or another. The idea of Dang Laoban, very important. My brother started his own business. So I've always had that spirit, and I think that's the spirit that keeps a country lively and exciting. So that has influenced me a lot.
To keep our country moving, we have to take another step as well, and that's bringing fair competition back to the economy. That's why today I'm going to be signing shortly an executive order promoting competition.
We set a lot in motion. We created internally a council that is designed to do antitrust. We appointed people who are antitrust people. So yeah, I have high hopes. So the American tradition, frankly, whether it was the American Revolution, whether it was the progressive movement, later in the New Deal, not the first but the second New Deal, has been to try to redistribute economic power sometimes through breakups, through limiting mergers, through other measures. I'm not talking about wealth distribution, I'm talking about economic power redistribution. Anyway, we have a tradition and we thought we should return to it. I kind of respect when Barack Obama was president. He didn't say here are black values. He just was it. He was an example. And I think my view of these things is not to be okay, I'm a special assistant to the president and here's the Asian American way of doing it. It's more here we go and doing a good job. As Asian Americans do more things and do a good job, that is the way we, in some ways, prove ourselves in the society. And I think we've taken that approach very successfully. I feel very proud of our community. I just came out of government, so I need to rest, spend time with family. People say often abstractly family's important, but I really believe it. And maybe that's another value, that's a traditional Asian value, is I've seen people ruin their families by government ambition. And for me, at least for the next while, I feel a strong focus to be there for my family. I'm teaching 2 classes. I have 180 students. I was influenced, actually, when I was on the Supreme Court in my career path, by a famous Chinese figure, Zhuge Liang. He lived in the mountains. He spent a lot of his time writing poetry or something. So that's sort of my academic job. And then at the right time came, he'd go back and he'd get involved in the government, politics, strategy. I kind of wanted that kind of job. where you could go back and forth and go back and forth. And that's kind of what I've done. So right now I'm in the writing poetry phase. For me, it's books. I write books when I'm out of government. You know, I feel very strongly about the AI issues, and I think I have something to say about it. I want to try to influence the White House and congressional response to AI. What does seem urgent, the long-term effects are hard to know, but the industrial structure, to me, the economic power questions seem very important. I think there are these moments that are very important for either reinforcing economic power or stirring things up in the tech industry. So I think it's a very important moment for the tech industry.